It is Friday, April 18th, 2025, and today is going to be an epic day. We're back for a second day of exploring the brand new epic universe here at Universal Orlando. Yesterday was the very first of the preview days open to sort of the general public if you stayed at a Universal Hotel, if you had a Universal annual pass. A big deal, a big day, and my first time ever exploring Epic Universe. Now yesterday I managed to do a lot. In fact, almost all of the major attractions out here, but today I've got my bearings, I know where I'm going. I feel very pumped up on visiting all these lands again and peeking into nooks and crannies I didn't get a chance to see yesterday. And as I discovered yesterday, there are 4 main themed worlds inside of this epic universe. You got the How to Train Your Dragon's Isle of Berk, you got the Dark Universe featuring Universal Monsters, Super Nintendo World, and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Battle at the Ministry, all of which I'm hoping to dive back into today. And of course you also have Celestial Park, the sort of main hub, the main open central area that's all sort of retro-futuristic, sort of astro, steampunk themed. And although the land's centered around the movies, they're probably the most exciting. I didn't get much of a chance to check out this, the Court of the Moon here when you first enter, and some of the amazing shops. So right over here is the first one called the Sensorium Emporium. And you can see, like I said, everything is sort of almost kind of astrologically steampunk. There are suspended stars up in these crazy canopies that light up at night. Sensorium Emporium is full of all kinds of merchandise from all over the park. You can pick up your Universal photos there, but it also shares space with the North Star Wintry Wonders. They have a little Christmas shop in here with Epic Universe Christmas ornaments. Looks like there's a little toy portal up there and a desk for, I presume in the wintertime, Santa to sit at, or an elf, because this does say Elf on Break. I didn't notice any Christmas merch anywhere else in the park yesterday, so that's pretty cool that you have a one-stop shop to grab that. Of course, it's not even summer yet, so we'll give Christmas a pass for the moment. Coming back down here on the right, just past the Sensorium Emporium, there's a little Starbucks here. I didn't even notice that yesterday. I wish I had. I could have used some coffee, that is for sure. And this entire Celestial Park area is so cool. It's almost like that main gate portal transports you into the Epic Universe, and then in Celestial Park, you're sort of floating out in space, looking for the other portals into the lands, where you can explore other portals into the aforementioned lands, the Dark Universe, the Isle of Berk, Super Nintendo World. It's amazing. Now, it's still early days out here. There's no snack carts out here yet. Yesterday, much to my chagrin, I found out a lot of the little stands aren't fully stocked yet. Some of the buildings don't even have signage yet as to what they are going to be. Look at that. You can see an empty cart sitting right there awaiting its future use. That's because it's not open really to the public. Yesterday they were calling this a technical rehearsal sort of thing. There's still more than a month to go until it opens the gate to all the visitors from our world. So in a lot of cases, it remains to be seen what's going to be inside of some of these buildings. I'm presuming restaurants because I see a little seating outside. Speaking of restaurants, in this sort of center of Celestial Park over there, you have the Atlantic restaurant. I'm going to peek into there later. We'll do the other side of Celestial Park a bit later after we jump into some portals, into some themed lands. I love these fountains. They light up at night. There's all these fountain shows, particularly in front of the Helios Hotel over there. Now you notice that sort of moon statue. I think it's Luna. You know, the sort of feminine name for the moon, although I never heard anyone say that yesterday. And back over there, you have a statue of Helios, the Roman god of the sun, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly. And that big building back there is the Helios Hotel, which we will be entering later. Oh, this is cool. The little pretzel stand is open today. There was nothing here yesterday. Now look at this, I got cinnamon pretzels, regular pretzels, churros. Makes me wish I could eat gluten. Now the music out here is a lot louder than it was yesterday. They've been testing a lot of stuff throughout these couple of days. Like I said, they're in technical rehearsal, so sometimes you'll hear loud music, then it'll suddenly just disappear. They were testing lighting. I saw people fixing sprinklers yesterday, painting stuff. And look at this, here's our very first portal into the Isle of Berk. You pass through here and then enter the world of How to Train Your Dragon. If you enter Epic Universe and go to the right and go sort of counterclockwise, you hit How to Train Your Dragon first, then you'll hit the Harry Potter Wizarding World Battle at the Ministry, the Helios Hotel, Dark Universe, Super Nintendo World, and then you'll be back at the entrance again. Now the sleeper hit for me yesterday was this How to Train Your Dragon's World, the Isle of Berk. I am a big fan of the first two of those movies. I haven't seen the third one yet. And I was prepared to be charmed and amused by this land. I was not expecting to be transported through this portal and then be completely blown away by what I found inside, nor to see so many epic dragons in here. I mean, I was expecting some dragons, but this place is full of them. And not just dragons, but all kinds of actors portraying the Vikings from the films. And this park is well named because the size and scale of everything is so epic. I mean, look at this, even next to this little Viking hut gift stall over here, there is a pen full of baby dragons fighting over fish, scarfing it down, and look at them moving around and wiggling. Everything in this land feels alive. Dude, I'm so stoked to be back. Last night I was laying down like, was I just blown away because everything was so brand new and unfamiliar? I'm happy to report no. Even just setting foot into this first land of the day, I'm like, oh yeah. My first impressions were correct. This whole place is epic. I love everything about it. The dining areas, the theming on all the buildings, all this sort of Viking wood carving looking stuff. The Spitfire grill right here. Looks like they got Stoic steak bowl, Hiccup salmon bowl, Meat Lugs chicken bowl. There's a vegan bowl, a shrimp bowl, beverages and beers. You can just drive right up, I guess. I noticed and appreciated these all over the park yesterday as well. The Coke Freestyle machines. You can get yourself any flavor you want. I love these Viking statues made of stone here. This one's hungry, he's waiting to eat. The next one's chowing down, he's got a fish in his mouth. And then this lady over here's finished her food. She's just waiting for a refill on her drink. And then right across the way from her, check it out. It's the ice dragon. I never saw him blow his wintry breath yesterday. I can hear him roaring. I want to go put my hand up to his face. Calm down, calm down. Like I said, a lot of things are still in sort of testing mode. They're still working out the kinks out here. So cool. Oh my gosh, now here's a Viking I didn't see yesterday. It's Astrid. I love that. That is so cool. If you've never seen these movies, like I said yesterday, I highly, highly recommend them. I talked to all the other Vikings yesterday, but I'm too starstruck to talk to Astrid for some reason. Speaking of Vikings, right under this canopy is the most famous Viking of them all. The dragon trainer himself, Hiccup, is back there with Toothless. This is the Toothless meet and greet, one of the few things I did not do yesterday. That's so cool. I love to see the Vikings walking around thriving.
Thank you. You know, we're very excited with the newfound areas of Berk and with Hiccup PhD. He's doing a wonderful job.
Me too. Nice to meet you, Astrid. What's your name?
I'm Dog. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Berk.
Oh, that's so cool. Nice to meet you guys.
Very nice to meet you.
So long.
See ya.
Come to Berk anytime.
Okay, thank you. Look at this. Different Vikings will trade out with Hiccup throughout the day and be there at the Toothless meet and greet. I mean, Hiccup's got to get a break sometime. I really love that they designed this so that you can see Toothless even if you don't want to wait in a queue to take the fun pic. And I noticed yesterday and today that the interactions are not short. They kind of let you spend a little bit of time with Toothless at the meet and greet, which is why just like when I do meetups or book signings, the line can take a little while to get through. Like I said, you can stand out here and see Toothless from a distance, which is nice. It's just so cool watching that. I mean, one of the coolest animatronics I've ever seen. He looks alive and it's great that you can see him from the sidewalk. I love that they designed it that way. Because of course, what's the number one thing everybody wants to see when they come to the Isle of Berk? Probably Toothless. Oh my gosh, now look at that shield right there. If you spin it, there's a little Toothless up there that flaps his wings. And look at that little dragon hut up there with the tail swinging back and forth. Yesterday, I did go in here, I did watch this show, The Untrainable Dragon, and my mind was blown. If you think the animatronic dragons outside are awesome, this show has got it all. Flying, toothless, baby dragons, and a big, giant, moving, walking puppet animatronic. I don't know what it is, a huge dragon on stage, the untrainable dragon herself. Hiccup's in there, Astrid, Gobber, all of your favorite Vikings are in the show. They did not allow any photos or video in the theater. Trust me, it is worth a watch. Plus, it's only a 20-minute show. It won't take up too much of your epic day. Look at this, I love this. Even when they don't have animatronic dragons out here for you, they've got animatronic sheep. These are amazing. They all look so real. They're making their little bah sounds. They're saying, Matt. And this guy's going, what, Matt? And this guy's going, Matt. So cool. entering the village here. Just passing over this bridge at the fire drill, the sort of Viking boat ride where you will get very wet. I love all the carved wood dragon benches, little static dragon figures everywhere. It is awesome. If you want all the first impressions and sort of a main overview, go back to my first video at Epic Universe. I might gloss over a few things that we already did yesterday. However, one thing that I did definitely do yesterday and am definitely doing again today is riding the epic roller coaster here at the Isle of Berk. Hiccup's Wing Gliders. There it goes right there. You can't film on any of the rides here at Epic, but you can see that roller coaster from pretty much half of the entire Isle of Berk. So we'll see it in just 1 second. Look at this. This is the giant mead hall inside of there, the sort of main dining hall for all the Vikings. Got some Viking restrooms back there with an epic mosaic in the men's room. Let me tell you. Oh, I love this. This guy's spinning the shield. And then I didn't notice this yesterday. A little wooden Viking puts his face up to the horn, and then the Viking horn sounds. And sometimes at the end even burps. Okay, there's the entrance to the roller coaster, Hiccup's Wing Gliders. The wait time is only 10 minutes right now, totally doing that. And in the background you can see the Dragon Racers ride. You can see there's two giant swivelly arms, two of them over here, where riders can fly around the sky, do a little dragon racing training. Oh yeah, that's the name, Dragon Racers Rally. I'm still getting used to everything, still memorizing the names of all these rides. And of course, dragon racing features prominently at the beginning of the second movie. Look at these sleeping dragons out here, little sleeping baby dragons with some more animatronic sheep with the little targets painted on them. And then there's the black sheep right there. I think he's worth 10 points, right? Was it 10 points? I can never remember. Next door, you got the Hooligans Grog and Gruel. They got some mac and cheese cones in there, PB&J pork, bacon, and jam. And there's an epic Viking playground I showed you guys yesterday. Oh, I didn't even notice this yesterday at Dragon Racers Rally. Look at the giant Viking grandstands up there, so the Vikings can watch the dragon races. But I think my favorite thing of all had to be Hiccup's Wing Gliders, the epic roller coaster that travels all through the Isle of Berk, splashes through the water, loops around, which I just rode again and was just as fun as I remembered. And there's a huge animatronic Toothless in there. You see animatronic Hiccup. That coaster is well themed, way more fun, and way more fast than I expected it to be. It was awesome. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get some of my friends later to come with me so I don't have to stand in line alone and maybe see Toothless later on today. For now, I wanna keep this epic exploration rolling along and pop over to the land I spent the least amount of time in, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. As I've explained many times, I have not seen all the Harry Potter films. I have not read any of the books, but every time I enter one of the Harry Potter themed lands at any Universal park, they do it so well. Like everything is so richly themed and richly detailed that it almost doesn't matter. You're just captivated and wow, look at this. You have to come back through Celestial Park once you pass back through that portal. We got the carousel over there, which I never ended up riding on yesterday. I hope to do that tonight. And to find our next portal, we want to hook a right. We don't want to go to the Helios Hotel just yet and go right past the Epic Universe's signature roller coaster, the Stardust Racers. Not based on any movie, it's an original idea featuring these twin looping tracks. Again, it's sort of like an astro-punk kind of theming. Man, I cannot wait for my turn to ride on this. I don't want to get myself in a long line just yet though, and you'll see why in just a minute. Right across the way you have the Meteor Astro Pub. You got some burgers and brewskis in there. And then there's our next portal just beyond, where we once again go out of Celestial Park and into the wizarding world of Harry Potter. This isn't just any ordinary portal right here. This is a time portal, which is why you see that little timepiece there just above the center. See that hourglass? This transports us through time and space because we enter the wizarding world in 1920s Paris. Hear that ticking right there? I don't know if that's a reference to one of the films or to the books. You're gonna have to leave a comment and let me know. But I do know that even though I only had the briefest of explorations of this land yesterday, I can tell you the theming is so good. I know my little wifelet Allie is gonna love it because she loves Paris. And I don't think I can put it any better than I did yesterday when I said, this is like the Paris that you fantasize about visiting. Then you get to the real Paris and you're like, man, you gotta kind of look really hard to find bits of the old classic romantic Paris that's in your imagination. And here in the wizarding world, they did it. I mean, everything is perfect, from the lamppost to the street signs to the paving on the roads. Even the manhole covers are perfect. I mean, it is so well done that if you just plopped me down here randomly, I'd go, When did Paris get so nice? Look at this sort of little flower shop here. Look at all the Art Nouveau signage and architecture. And of course, this is the wizarding world of Harry Potter, so I didn't really show this yesterday, but there are all kinds of magical fantasy creatures in these windows. Like, see these little kind of stick insect looking things? Part of the theming is around the Fantastic Beasts movies. I don't even know what those are all about, but I know enough to expect fantasy creatures everywhere. Look at the little floating fruits on that tree. Once again, look at the hand-painted window glass. All these buildings and shops are just done so perfectly. Like, look at all of this here. I've actually seen shops in Paris with like copper kettles like this, selling fancy cookware and stuff like that. I don't know what this window does, but I see some little sensors. It looks like you might be able to point your wand at that, get a little magic going on. I hear some bubbling, so possibly you make these cauldrons boil over? I'm not sure. I love that triumphal arch right there. And then look over here across the street, Café L'Air de la Sirène. Oh, it's a mermaid cafe. Dude, it's gorgeous. Oh, I like this. Right here next to the entrance, there's a sort of little hidden, sneaky stroller parking area, so you can keep the strollers off the street if you are entering Le Café. This is something they have in the real Paris, little history plaques right here, so if you're willing to stand here and translate to the French, you'll probably learn all about this. Oh my gosh, now this does feel like Paris. Very overly fancy, Le Grand architecture. Wow. Oh my gosh, look at the painted tiles. Oh, it is beautiful in here. Like I said, Allie is going to love this. I'm gonna try not to say this too many times, but it's like Universal spared no expense. Oh, this lady here has the perfect outfit. She's got her beret on. I love that the cafe does have outdoor cafe style seating out here, just like the real Paris. There's a little alleyway down there that we explored yesterday with the restrooms in the back, and there's a little pub, tavern back there. This is weird. A guy just walked past me speaking French, like a tourist. Awesome. And then look at this shop on the corner, the Chateau Renouille, the chocolate frog. This is a little sweet shop. And I shouldn't say little, look at the size of it. It is so freaking epic. Again, they named this park well because I want to say everything is epic. It's all done on such a literally epic scale. There were some people standing outside, so I thought there was a line to get in here, but there wasn't. I just wasn't walking in. Oh my gosh, there's macarons and bonbons for days. All kinds of little sweets and treats in here. It smells delicious. Dude, even look at the cash registers. I love this. It's so fancy and francy. Ooh, le biscuits. All right, now there's supposed to be a really good show in this little circus tent right here in the kind of center of the land. What that says up there is the Museum of Living Curiosities. Of course, it says it in French. But right now the show is down, so can't get in line for that at the moment. That's okay, if I never get in there on this trip, at least something for the next one. Look at this amazing architecture. Universal Creative went absolutely insane creating this place. I mean, look at all the dead-end streets here. I love this staircase up towards Montmartre, up towards Sacré-Cœur right there, recreating real buildings from Paris. I wonder if all these are recreated from real buildings. They certainly look real. Dude, I just can't get enough of this. I want to climb up there and go to Montmartre. It feels real. Look at this amazing wand shop on the corner here. I don't know why it says Magic Baguettes on the door, but I love this. They have the costumed proprietor of this establishment leading guests inside. I mean, the characters here are amazing in Epic Universe. And look at the interiors of all this. I mean, 2 stories, the size and scale of everything is so amazing. I love these display cases for the wands. There's wand bags and wand holsters in here. Jeez Louise. I love this. You can take these home and play with your wand all day. Now, you'll notice I'm taking my time. I'm peeping into all these little windows and shops. The reason is because in 30 minutes, I'll have a chance to try to join the virtual queue for the main attraction in this land, the Battle at the Ministry. It has a longer name than that. I just can't recall it at the moment. We'll go down there and look at the exterior in just a second. I'm never lucky with virtual queues. I almost never get them. Allie can always snag them in 2 seconds. I am cursed. Maybe a jinx was put on me by a warlock or a witch. This is weird. I didn't notice this yesterday. This little stroller parking area. I love all these weird little dead ends. I love the graphic design for all of these posters here. They're all in French. So of course you'd have to translate them all to get all the in-jokes and the references. This land, more than any of the others I've visited, really makes me want to watch those Harry Potter films and read the books. And I'll get to it. Oh, I can see families out here doing little wand stuff in all of the windows. Not gonna lie to you, I really want to try it, but I think I'll wait for the day when eventually they have an annual pass to this park so I won't feel guilty spending an entire day playing with my wand. Look at this, Bar Moonshine of Paris. I think I'll wait for the day when eventually they'll have annual passes to Epic Universe so I won't feel super guilty spending an entire day playing with my wand. Look at this, Bar Moonshine, specialty liquors. They got Giggle Water, Liquid Glee, Butterbeer. Come here for the beer. Butterbeer. Ooh, it's teeny tiny in there and quite busy. But that is so neat, dude. There's so much to do in this land, so much to do in all the lands. I mean, it really feels like you could come here for 5 different days and spend a day in each land, just doing all the things, experiencing all the restaurants and shops. I love it, dude. I love it. Like I said, this park, well named, everything is epic. All right, heading back towards the entrance to the land, past this sort of circus tent with a little show over here. I think you got a shop here called the Gallery of Miracles. Ooh, I can see an owl up in that window right there. I wonder if a wand activates him. There's a little butterbeer cart over here. And down at this dead end, this far dead end over here, there is a metro station that transports you into the future, into the time of Harry Potter, apparently. Behind me, I almost didn't even notice this yesterday, another cafe out here, beautiful outdoor seating. People are eating and drinking. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There's that metro station right down at the dead end. I call it dead end because look at this headless guy over here. The Metro Flu. Now, if you have a virtual queue, you can enter this line. I believe you go into this metro station, then get transported through time into the Ministry of Magic. Again, not super familiar with what that is, but if I get a chance to ride this ride, maybe I'll find out. I love all the little gift shops at the exits to the rides. Again, the details everywhere, the mosaics, the tiling, Art Nouveau doors. I mean, even the door handles, everything is done on a no pun intended epic scale. This is obviously the exit to the ride over here. Ooh, there's your little time portal to come back to, well, not the present day, to the 1920s in Paris. You got all your Ravenpuff and Huffleclaw stuff over here, your slithery snake, whatever it is. I'm just horsing around. Calm down, Potterheads. Just so much to see out here. Yuck, 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 yuck. Oh, dude, look at those eyeballs up there. Yes, look at the size of them eyeballs. Oh my gosh, it just really does feel like a whole real world. And even though everything's brand new, it does feel lived in. I mean, the way the trees are coming up out of the sidewalk, the little benches, everything is super authentic. All right, so that was the funniest thing I've never caught on camera. You could hear basically the entire land here groan because 3 o'clock came, time to try to join the virtual queue, and nobody got it. A time popped up, but nobody apparently got it. The ride has been down, so maybe they just didn't want to add more people to the virtual queue. Not sure. Like I said, I have very, very bad luck when it comes to virtual queues, so it's probably because I'm here. It's probably because I was trying. Sorry, everyone. All right, well, that might not be in the cards for me on this trip. That's okay. With a brand new multi-billion-dollar theme park, you have to expect a few things to go wrong while they're in technical rehearsal. I mean, everybody here did purchase tickets, but when you purchase these tickets, it came with the caveat that not everything might be working as expected on these sort of preview days. Look at this. That is awesome, dude. Live entertainments in theme parks, a very important element. All right, well, I traveled down this little back alley yesterday. I was watching people interact with some of the portraits in this window over here to the right. I peeked into this tavern on the left. I love the little fountain back there, another little exit towards the back. All these little alleyways and nooks and crannies to get that perfect Harry Potter pick. But I feel like this land is gonna be very popular with Lily Collins fans too. Like I said, the Paris theming is perfection. It is perfection. I'd almost rather come here than go to the real Paris. This Paris smells like candy and magic, and the real Paris smells, well, you gotta go there and experience it. All right, well, at least I got a good look at the land today, and now we're moving on. We're continuing our counterclockwise travels from the entrance, which means that next up isn't a land at all. As we portal out of this wizarding world, our next destination is this, the Helios Hotel. All right, so you remember at the entrance, way back there, past the carousel, we saw the sort of moon goddess, which I think is named Selene. I think they're actually Greek gods and goddesses, not Roman. The Roman one would be Luna. And that area right where you enter is called Moon Court. We're on the opposite side over here. Across the fountain from the Moon Court to the moon goddess, you have this, the Helios Hotel, named after Helios, the Greek god of the sun, whose statue, whose little portal, gate, whatever you want to call it, is just right over there in front of this premier hotel that's sitting right at the back of the theme park. And look at all those park view windows. I originally had a one-day ticket to the sort of preview days here, which my friend Mig V from Magic Journeys snagged for me because he had a Universal Rewards credit card or something like that. But I got a second day because my friend David from Fresh Baked added me onto his room here at the Helios Hotel. I wasn't staying in it, but that allowed me to purchase a second ticket, which is why I'm here. Oh, look at the size of this dragon. Shouldn't you be in Berk, sir? We've got an escapee, we've got an escapee. Where's Hiccup? All right, so the cool thing is, because I am added to the room, I do have a room key to the Helios Hotel. I mean, technically, I guess I could go up in David's room. I got the little key card right in here. I could mess with them where you can see if Fresh Baked underwear is really all that fresh, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. However, we can come stand up here on the sort of back porch and look at this amazing view of Epic Universe. There's the two lands we still haven't got to yet. You can see the spire right there for the Dark Universe featuring the Universal monsters. And then over there is Super Nintendo World. We're going to both places. But first I thought we might as well come here and enter into at least the ground floor, the lobby of the Helios Hotel. Look at Helios right there. Oh, that's right. You can enter and exit the park through the hotel if you stay here. Although I think it's, it's pretty pricey. It's a premier or deluxe resort, whatever terminology they use at Universal. But I don't think you can just wander in from the park. I believe, at least for these preview days, I think you have to have a room key. And there is another little security station here and all that kind of stuff. But if you are a guest, you can come in and out as much as you please. In fact, when David was adding us to the room, he added Mig V as well, so Mig V also purchased a ticket. Hopefully we'll run into them today. We all came here with our friend Peter from Ordinary Adventures, stood on this back porch, and this was my first view of Epic Universe at night. When we were in here the other night, the night before the preview opening, they told us that it was actually the opening day of the hotel. So like Stella Nova and some of the other new Epic Universe hotels and resorts opened up before the park, well in advance of the park actually. But the Helios opened the night before these preview nights. And so this was my first merch collection station right here, the little Universal Studios store down in the lobby. And look at the lobby itself. It has that brand new hotel smell. Everything is new. It smells like construction materials and paint and varnish and caulking and new carpets. And look at this little lounge area in here right behind the statue of Helios, looking out into the park. Now, of course, I'd rather be in the park than hanging out in a hotel lobby, but I must admit, it is nice to get a break from the heat out there. Here we go. Here's the back patio proper after you are entered into the hotel. This was our first look at Epic Universe, and I was blown away just by this little peek because I could see the roller coasters, I could see the little gates and portals from here. I mean, even in the dark, that sort of pre-gaming for the first day, it was gorgeous. What's Helios doing, dude? Is he firing an arrow at Selene back there? Crazy. Look at that amazing view. Dude, holy moly, I would love to stay in this place. It's not really in my budget, but I'd love to stay here. Well, I'll tell you what, one thing for sure about the Helios, it is gorgeous inside. Not just because it's brand new, but it feels very classy. Look at this very classy bar. Some sort of very classy restaurant that looks like it'll be opening up tonight. Look at those booths. I mean, everything looks very nice. Feels like Las Vegas a little bit, in a good way. Like somewhere like the Encore, the Wind. Maybe it's just the flowers on the ceiling. Remind me of the Wind. And because I was on the room here, I was able to get that ticket. And what I should have done was valet park the car over here. It was only 45 bucks if you're a hotel guest, or if you have a room key anyway. But I could not find my way to the hotel. It's not on Apple Maps or Google yet. It wants to send you the wrong way, so I gave up and just went to the regular parking lot this morning. I probably should have stuck it out though. Spoiler alert, it is a lot more though. If you do not have a room key, it is way more than like the premier parking or whatever it's called in the regular parking lot. Oh my gosh, look at this little snack stand right here. They've got gelato down here. They've got all kinds of little pastries and donuts, and oh my goodness, I believe they have some coffee. Okay, so update, they did not make me use the room key to get in, so I think you can just walk in if you are a park guest. You need your park ticket to get back, of course. Dude, just look at the hallway to the elevators. That's amazing. All right, so I'm going through the dedicated Helios park entrance. We're going back in. Actually, you know what? Dark Universe is next on our counterclockwise rotation through Epic Universe, but we need to go backwards for a second because I just realized if I head back into Dark Universe, I'm probably gonna be there for a while. And I just noticed on the app, the Stardust Racers or whatever, the line is very short. And since today is my last day at Epic Universe on this trip, on this round, I definitely want to pack in as many rides as possible. All right, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh my gosh. All I can say is, oh my gosh. I want to use stronger language, but this is a family-friendly show. That ride was insane. It looks like no big deal from the part you can see from the main walkways, but that was so intense and crazy. Some of the people on that ride were like, I've ridden hundreds of coasters, and that's the best darn coaster I ever seen. Hey, look at that, an artifact, a smoking area. I just rode that with Chris Provost and my friend Josh out here twice in a row, a 10-minute wait each time. Now, they're very strict about any kind of removable object or metal object on you. I had to take off the vest. I even had to take the pins off my lapel, which was like, really? And they're like, oh yeah, everything's gotta come off. Your keys, your wallet, everything. In fact, there are even metal detectors before you can get on the ride. So they have lockers in there and stuff like that. I was like, why? I mean, what is the reason behind that? Until I rode it, and then I was like, oh, I completely understand. It's so intense, so extreme, so fun. There's no loop-de-loops. There's all these barrel rolls, like 2 ride vehicles barrel rolling over each other in the tracks. I was waiting for it to come by here while I was talking about it, but I think the ride actually just went down. Luckily, we got on it twice before that happened. And the other thing that nobody told me about is on the back of the trains, you can't see them while they're going by at high speed. There's a flux capacitor on the back of each coaster. Now, you can't get a camera, you can't get your phone, nothing goes up past the point where you could take a picture. I'm sure someone will eventually get one. There's a freaking flux capacitor on that thing. And it felt like you were traveling through time, space, dimensions. It felt so crazy. I'm not a huge roller coaster guy, mostly because I'm just so into theming, and I always think, do I want to stand in a long line? But if there's a short line, I'll ride a roller coaster. It's not like I'm normally afraid of them until I got up there on those lift hills. It feels like you're like inverting. I know, I'm gushing about roller coasters and I very rarely ride them, very rarely talk about them because you can't film on them. But this like went up and it felt like you're almost backwards, went down, felt like you're almost 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. The Stardust Racers is a must-do. I know it has like no theme. It's not in one of the IP themed lands, but this is an amazing roller coaster. Don't miss it if you can possibly help it. Get that Universal Express once this place opens to the public. It'll be worth it just for this freaking ride alone. I am not kidding, just physically wise, that might be the best roller coaster I have ever been on, ever. All right, and now we can go to Dark Universe. Yes. By the way, the music got epically loud because look at that fountain show right there. If you think that's something, you gotta see this at night. It is mind-blowing. Look at that. It's almost like the Bellagio show or something like that. I'm making a lot of Vegas references today. Anyway, on to the Dark Universe. All right, I love the Isle of Berk, but this has to be far and away my favorite thing, not just because I'm a Universal Monsters nerd, so I would already, have a soft spot towards it, but because they did such an amazing job. And even though it's a new twist on old favorites, it works. Somehow it just works, and now this land, it's alive! It's alive! All right, now I went a little crazy yesterday on my first day, spent a lot of time in Darkmoor, which is the little village here in the Dark Universe. I even came back at night to see it all lit up. I was totally blown away. Igor, it's so nice to see you.
Flosser? What is that?
A dental flosser?
Is that a toothbrush?
I could use it as a toothbrush on you. What is this that you're holding? Are you checking reflexes?
That wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, check mine.
No,
Huh?
that's not what it is. This is a brain getter outer.
A brain getter outer.
Yes.
Oh, mine's already out.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. See, all you got to do is
Yeah.
go right through the ear, and
the brain comes out
the other side.
Oh.
The brain getter outer.
The brain getter outer. Oh, well, that's good.
What's your name?
My name's Justin, Igor.
Justin Igor.
Yes.
What a strange name.
It's beautiful, though, the middle part.
Justin Igor. Put me on the Darkmoor Film Society place and film me because I need everyone in Darkmoor to know. Come out to Darkmoor, have a wonderful time. Good luck, don't die.
Thanks, Igor.
You're welcome.
Taking it a little easier today because yesterday's video ended up being so long. I was up till 5 in the morning filming it. I promised myself I'd take it a little lighter this time, but I already see so many things I didn't get a chance to see yesterday. Like, look at this over the Dr. Pretorius shop up here. I didn't notice these arrows all here from the attack. And across the street, look up there by the bell tower. There's a crossbow up there. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together yesterday, but when this bell tolls, that's sort of like summoning the villagers for the attack, right? This is where you're supposed to gather and get your pitchforks and torches, and that is why this is the sign for when the Burning Blade back there, the Burning Blade Tavern, lights on fire. It's like a whole miniature, kind of subconscious storyline. The bell chimes, the villagers gather, and then what do? They march to the windmill to burn it down with the monster inside. And speaking of monsters, I saw a little line back here in the photo op area, or I at least saw some people exiting from that line. I know they've sort of taken the Frankenstein monster out of the meet and greet, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I get to finally see the bride. It's the bride of Frankenstein. And there's almost no line to meet her. I'm starstruck. Well, hello there.
What is this?
It's just a little device I have for documenting travels. Think of it like a pen.
A pen.
Yes.
Is this a creation from Victoria Frankenstein?
No, I wish it was. She could probably improve the design.
You think so?
Yeah, she did.
She is a good scientist.
She did a good job on the new monster. What do you think of him?
I do enjoy my friend. She did a great job on him, but that's about it.
Oh, not a fan of Victoria Frankenstein, are we?
No.
Oh.
She's caused a lot of chaos in Darkmoor since she has been.
Yes, there has been a lot of chaos. But don't you like chaos?
Not particularly.
Oh, that's true. You probably don't like it when people use these pitchforks either, I'm guessing.
Those are mine.
Oh, those are yours?
Yes.
Awesome.
Would you like a portrait?
I would love a portrait. Let's get a fun portrait. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. Look at this. Now that I've left, there is a little bit of a line. People have figured out that she's back there. All right, well, the main attraction of the Dark Universe, if you didn't happen to see yesterday's video, is this Darkmoor Manor, AKA the home of Dr. Frankenstein, the new Dr. Frankenstein, Victoria Frankenstein, who is creating new life, a new version of her great-grandfather's or great-great-grandfather's monster. Obviously, as you heard, the bride of Frankenstein, not a big fan of Victoria Frankenstein. And the rumor is the reason the bride is not in this ride is because Victoria doesn't know she's alive. Victoria is obviously trying to control all the monsters. That's sort of the storyline behind this ride. The best ride, by the way, I think I've ever been on. If you're a classic Universal Monsters fan, you've been seeing the new designs and kind of the new takes on the characters, you might be like, what is this? I'm kind of skeptical. I totally feel ya, but I'm telling you, once you step into Darkmoor and start seeing all the thick references to the classic Universal Monsters, like Colin Clive is in that freaking ride. I mean, not the man or an animatronic of him, but his portrait. I mean, you're going to fall in love, I think, just like I have. There's a little detail that a friend of mine who works for Universal Creative pointed out to me just a little while ago. Right underneath this Curse of the Werewolf roller coaster, right where you're most tempted to look up and see the spinning little coaster going around, check this out on the ground. Look at these footsteps coming out of the bushes. I know they're kind of hard to see. Basically, human footprints are coming right out of those bushes. And look at, as you keep going along, the footprints start to transform. There's freaking wolf tracks everywhere over here that I never noticed yesterday. Like I said, I spent so much time here basically doing everything except the steakhouse, which is the vampire-themed restaurant. Today, the big attraction in the Frankenstein Manor over there, oh, there's those wolf prints. The Monsters Unchained ride has been down quite a lot. Like I said, they're still in technical rehearsal, so they're still ironing out all the kinks, working out all the bugs. By the way, quickly, did you notice how the footprints are becoming more human as they go back into the bushes over here? Larry Talbot lives again, question mark? So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to ride at Monsters Unchained again today, but I did go on the Curse of the Werewolf again just a little while ago with my friend Josh, and I noticed a couple of details in there that I had never seen before. First of all, Maleva's little tarot card table, and then at the end, would you look at that as you're getting off the ride? It's just so cool, dude. It's just so cool. Look at the scattering of werewolf tracks. By the way, they come out of this barn, which is where you see the werewolf when you're on the Curse of the Werewolf ride. And it's clear that he came out here, got confused, he's looking around, and he takes off that way towards the bushes. So there's little storytelling everywhere here. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, I just can't believe it took them basically almost 100 years, Universal, to build some sort of physical representation of the Universal Monsters universe. Think of all the years Universal theme parks have existed. I'm so surprised that this never happened before. It's genius. Every land here is incredible, amazing, but I have a feeling when this place opens, you're gonna see all the punk rockers and goths and people into horror movies. I think there's gonna be a whole new demographic for theme parks, you know? I mean, if you love the spooky and the macabre, you're going to love Dark Universe. I mean, think of the sick pics you can take in here. I mean, look at this stuff. How macabre is that Igor with a human heart? Anyway, like I said, it is my last day here at Epic Universe. I'm hoping Monsters Unchained will open up for one more ride, but if it doesn't, I rode it 6 times yesterday. It's probably enough. And yesterday, we were all running around here doing so much filming and just experiencing everything, most of us for the first time. There wasn't a lot of time to catch up with like the people that we know that either work here or live down here or visiting. So I spent most of today kind of chatting with people, talking with people. It was kind of a nice break, honestly, from just scrambling from land to land. But it's like frantic as I'm starting to feel like, oh no, it's like my last couple of hours in here. There's only like 2 hours left. My next trip to Epic Universe is already locked in. I'll hopefully be coming back with Allie as well. And I know for a scientific fact that no matter how crowded it is, no matter how busy it is or not, we're gonna be spending a lot of time in Dark Universe. I freaking love this, dude. I freaking love this. Anyway, that's when we'll finally experience Das Steakhouse in here, the vampire-themed restaurant. You can see the vampires coming out with their umbrellas to protect them from the sun. You also notice that this little part of the building here is shaped like a coffin. And if you didn't see the video yesterday, which I highly recommend, in here, which is the future outdoor seating area of Das Steakhouse, there's an entire creepy vampire crypt. I mean, look at that. How sick is that? If one of those started moving right now, I would scream my freaking head off. This land looks so good at night. Unfortunately, the park is basically only open at the moment for these preview days for like an hour after dark. So I can't wait until it's open later hours. I'm assuming it will be open later hours in the future, so we can get more of a chance to see all the ins and outs of the Dark Universe at night. Okay, here's the inside of the steakhouse, a little preview. I'm not gonna try the food on this trip. I don't really have much time, but look at the incredible theming in here. Look at the vampire crypts. Look at all those graves right there. And check out the chandeliers made of steaks and vampire skulls. I know it's dark in here, but can you see those bats on the chairs? And then look at this in the back. First of all, you have portraits of famous vampires and other scenes back here. And then look at that vampire bride staked through the heart while people underneath her are enjoying their steaks. Oh, look at that. What in the unholy heck? Incredible. Oh my gosh, look at that vampire battle back there. It's like famous vampires through history. Oh, I love these roots growing in down into the crypts. This is unbelievable. These paintings, everything. I wish you could buy copies of these to put in your house. So creepy. I love this dude, but Wesley Snipes, he would hate this restaurant. Awesome, awesome. All right, well, it is the hardest thing in the world for me to drag myself out of the Dark Universe, but because we covered pretty much everything else yesterday, probably time for me to head out back into what remains of the light. Now I have a decision to make. Do I go back to the Isle of Berk, try to meet Toothless before I head home to California? Or do I throw the dice on trying to go and ride Donkey Kong, which I didn't do yesterday? Oh, the freaking monster is in there. The Frankenstein monster. Oh my gosh, that's him. That's the freaking monster back there. I can hear him grunting and everything. Unfortunately, the line is capped right now. But then again, maybe it is fortunate. Because like I said, I've got a decision to make. I got a hard decision to make. Go back to the Isle of Berk or throw the dice on getting in line for Donkey Kong and then risk having it closed down or something like that. Oh, by the way, this right here, 428 on this brick right in front of the Burgomaster, so basically the mayor's residence, office, whatever you want to say. That 428 references April 28th, 1908, the birthday of Carl Laemmle Jr., the father of the Universal monsters. All right, I hate to do it, but we're out of here. Let's at least cruise over to Super Nintendo World and see how the line is. Going back out of the portal to the Dark Universe. There are sort of side entrances, by the way, into all the land, so you don't necessarily have to go through the portal. I just like it, it's just fun. Like, how sick is that? It feels so real. I mean, if you have any kind of imagination at all, you are going to love Epic Universe. It is the best. All right, Super Nintendo World, Super Nintendo World. So we're passing another big restaurant and bar here, once again with another lovely fountain out in front of it, the Oak and Star Tavern. On the other side is the Frosty Moon ice cream stand. There's a live band over there playing at the bandstand. We kind of saw them yesterday. Actually, there were a couple of live bands over here yesterday. Again, I love that they have live entertainment, and you should see this at night. It looks incredible. I love that there's so much room out here. I wonder what they're gonna do with all of this open space, which, by the way, all lights up at night and looks incredible. Not only is it obvious, especially when you're up on the roller coasters, that there's tons of land around here to expand in the future if they so choose. Just look at behind the carousel over here. There's tons of room to expand within the park to add more things to Celestial Park, more things to some of these little worlds through the portals. I mean, even if this place never changed, I would still say this is a must-do destination. It's a really cool park. But just as a sort of fan of the evolution and history of theme parks, I can't wait to see how this evolves over the next decade or two. All right, here we go into, if you're counting Celestial Park, our fifth and final land. We gotta enter the portal to the last world here, Super Nintendo World. I didn't even notice that big star on the ground yesterday. I was so overhyped yesterday and so excited, so thrilled. I missed a lot of details, but then again, there are a lot of details to absorb. Oh, I love how there's sort of a modern Mario on one side of this and the old school original Mario on the other. There's all these little Mario characters here on the sides. We have got to get in there. We've got to get into Super Nintendo World. And even though, pro tip, if you're trying to get inside just to go to Donkey Kong Country, there is a sort of side entrance over between this portal and this little Mario themed gift shop right here that's meant to be, I think, mostly an exit from the land, but that will take you down to sort of the ground floor. You could walk straight into Donkey Kong Country. I, however, prefer the Warp Pipe Scenic Route. Dun, 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 dun. That is so cool. All right, we came up the Warp Pipe into Princess Peach's castle, and now the big reveal once again. Super Nintendo World. Bigger and better than the one in California, much more expansive, although I love that one too. It's so fun. That's almost a Super Nintendo mini world. Here, you have Bowser's Castle with the Mario Kart ride in it. But you also have this amazing like Yoshi People Mover ride, nice and slow, very fun for kids. It was fun for me too, and well, I guess I'm a kid at heart. Then you come down this sort of grand staircase here and make your way down into this lower level we don't have in California, although we do have a one-up factory and we do have a Toadstool Cafe, and if you make your way under that bridge there, you will be heading towards Donkey Kong Country. Look at all the detail, look at all the motion. It reminds me of the way Tomorrowland used to be at Disneyland. You know, everything feels exciting. You can see everything moving all around you. There's all these weird little characters. I don't know what they are. Because of course I grew up with Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario World and all that kind of stuff. Super Mario 3 being my absolute all-time favorite, of course. Although I'm sort of tied with Super Mario World. I still have my SNES and I still have that game. But I would say for my brother and I, far and away our absolute favorite game when we got Super Nintendo, because the graphics, the technology blew our freaking minds, was Donkey Kong Country. I got a glimpse at the land and the ride yesterday, but I didn't see Donkey Kong out there doing his photo ops or meet and greets. I didn't manage to get onto the ride. So now we're going through this sort of sub-portal here. I just want to take one more crack at seeing what's going on out here. Now, obviously, I'm going to be back, and once this place is open to the public, like just open to all, there's definitely going to have to be a day where I invest in getting the Universal Express to just do all these rides. Oh, I still can't get over the funkies flying by, all the amazing Donkey Kong music playing out here, just seeing physical versions of the Donkey Kong Country barrels. There's no other word for it. This is epic. I love that. Donkey Kong's little treehouse right there. This is where he does his meet and greet. I never saw him yesterday and I still don't see him now. Speaking of barrels, look at the bubbly barrel right here. They have some kind of drink that comes in a little Donkey Kong barrel cup. I really wanted to snag one of those. The line's kind of tasty though. See, the dilemma here, so like I said, it's my last day and there's just under 2 hours left of the park being open. You know what? If I didn't see the Donkey Kong meet and greet character, and if I have 2 hours, the line says 45 minutes right now, I might have to gamble it all, dude. I might have to risk getting in this line, whether it shuts down or not, just to take a crack at the mine cart madness, the best part of those old Donkey Kong Country games. All right, it is a roller coaster. Let's do it. Oh, hey, wait a minute. For once I'm in luck, there is a single rider line. All right, for once it pays off having a lonely trip. Dude, this is so freaking awesome. The barrels, the bunches of bananas. I'm assuming that there's interactive elements here with your power band because all of Super Nintendo World is interactive. You know how they kind of came up with their own like magic band things that you could punch the blocks and do little games and stuff. I cannot wait to experience that. Wait a minute, what the heck is this? Is this Cranky Kong?
What's that? Oh my.
Dude, it is Cranky Kong. That is freaking amazing. A giant Cranky Kong animatronic just in the line.
My name's Cranky Kong. I'm close and most respected member of the Kong.
All right, looks like the single rider line is gonna be no picnic either. No walk on for me. I'm gonna sit here and wait it out, guys. I'm gonna see what happens. I've gotta give this a try. I'm tempted to use one of these drinking fountains though, something I almost never do. I'm so thirsty. They need those water carts up and running soon.
This isn't the most exciting room at Epic Universe, but I do love all the Kong hieroglyphs. So I guess the storyline here is we gotta help protect the Kong family's banana hoard by getting inside these little mine carts. I can hear Cranky's voice on these speakers trying to tell us something, but it's hard to hear over the crowd noise in here. That might be one of my next tattoos. If the ride is good. It was a mistake to come in the single rider line because I definitely saw people that got in the line, the regular line, the same time as me, pass me up. I don't know if that'll hold true all the time, but it was definitely true today. Mistakes were made. That's what happens when you get cocky. All right, once again, no filming or photos or anything allowed on any of the Epic Universe rides. I believe this ride is an exact copy of the one in Japan, and on that one I believe you are allowed to hold cameras, so there's probably videos of it to get an idea of what it's like. Not here in Orlando though, so down goes the camera. See you guys on the other side now for real. Okay, that was super cool. It was very short, but it was very cute. Right when you leave the gate, you see Dixie Kong, and then you're cruising around outside. I mean, you can see most of where the ride goes from outside in Donkey Kong Country. But then at the very end, right before you come back to the loading platform, you see a giant animatronic Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, and they get a golden banana. So although I may not have seen the Donkey Kong at the meet and greet today, at least I did get to see Donkey Kong in general, even if unfortunately I wasn't allowed to film him. By the way, that's the only one of the Universal photos I've seen working on the rides yet. Yeah, so basically you go out of the launch barrel, there's a whole bunch of sections of broken looking track. The ride is pretty smooth. There's a couple little jarring spots, but nothing too bad. You see some familiar faces in there. You see one of the little mole characters. I mean, much like all the Super Nintendo World rides over there on the Mario side, it's just cute. It's just all adorable. And the thing that makes it so wonderful is just all of the theming. Look at the bananas out here. You just get to live in the world of your favorite old school Nintendo games. I mean, they're very much trading on nostalgia for those games, but kids love those games too. And with new versions of them coming out all the time, these characters are potentially just as evergreen as the old Disney movie characters, or something like the Universal monsters. I mean, I guess the real thing, because I was gonna say, you know, I wonder what took them so long. That was my only question about why didn't they build a Super Nintendo theme park before? Same thing with the Universal monsters, right? And I get why there was some hesitancy potentially over the years, because fandom wasn't like this years ago. Like, for real, it was getting a little bit better than it was in the 80s or 90s when I was a kid. But even when I started this channel, what, 11, 12 years ago, something like that, even then it was considered very weird. But when I started Randomland, I started filming in the Disney parks and a couple times at Universal and stuff like that. People thought that was very, very weird. And they were right, it was weird, it was unusual. I'm not gonna name names, but there are literally people who 10 years ago were kind of making fun of me, like, what are you doing, dude? Filming Disney parks, going around to theme parks by yourself? You're a grown man, what are you thinking of? Who have now become, you know, theme park vloggers themselves. It's turned into a whole thing now. Like, nostalgia is big business. So maybe when it comes to things like video game characters and the Universal monsters, the timing just had to be right, you know? You just had to wait until the ground was fertile. Oh gosh, I just love this so much, man. I just love themed entertainment. I love existing
in those worlds that only existed in your imagination before. And I love that the physical manifestations of those imaginary worlds can only come together like this when you have the money, you have the budget, but you also, to do something this good with this much care and attention to detail, need very creative people who are also fans of the same thing. That's my favorite thing about meeting a lot of Imagineers and creatives behind stuff like that, and then finding out that many of them are just as huge of fans of things and places like this as I am, and as you are. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing the Yoshi ride, which I did film on yesterday, although I wasn't sure I was allowed to, but everyone had their phone out anyways, go back and check yesterday's video. Check yesterday's video in general because it was so great, full of first impressions and much more details in some cases, or just different details in all the lands. But this is it. At least we've checked all the lands off the list for today. Didn't quite get to see and do everything that I had hoped to today, but that is okay. I'm pretty sure Epic Universe is going to be here for a while. And not only will I be coming back, but when they have an annual pass on offer for this place, even though yes, I live in Southern California next to the original Disneyland, I will be purchasing one. And I will be hopefully coming to Orlando a lot more often. My plan was to move here like 10 years ago once my son turned 18. He's 18 now, but life has had other plans in the meantime, but I can still fantasize. All right, we're taking the warp pipe back out of Super Nintendo World, something I didn't do yesterday. I didn't go back into Peach's castle and then downstairs like that, through the castle into this. This is all new to me. And it's weird, I just realized I didn't see Princess Peach in her castle. I guess our princess was in another castle. What is this? This is so cool and weird. I didn't see this yesterday. Oh, it's like a side door that comes out in front of the warp pipe, but still within the Epic Universe portal. That is awesome. That is so cool. I didn't even notice that yesterday and I walked right past it. That's what I'm saying. It pays to pay attention and it pays to have more than one visit. All right, the sun is going down. The park is lighting up. But as it starts to get darker out of here and with just 1 hour to go, I'm thinking before I make any other decisions like run back to Dark Universe or run back to the Isle of Berk, we might as well finish our counterclockwise tour over here. There's the Atlantic restaurant, which I didn't really peek into yesterday. I just sort of saw it from outside the windows. And of course it overlooks this giant lagoon here and all these fountains. Got a bunch of seafood on the menu. See, there's a bunch of these little carts, like food and snack carts, that are not stocked yet, nothing in them. So, oh, I can see actually, wait a minute, water. They've got water, finally. You see the fake bush inside still covering up some stuff, so they're not complete, but this one does have water and popcorn. And an epic popcorn bucket. Dude, I had to do it. I had to grab the popcorn bucket, the refillable bucket. I always tell myself I'm gonna bring it back so I can get the like $3 refills or whatever. I have no idea if this bucket will ever make it back to Florida. I am jealous. Ooh, I'm doing something I have not done all day, except for on those rides. Sitting down. This is the one thing I haven't done in this park yet, just sit down and reflect. So, you know, for years, people who lived far, far from either coast would tell me, oh, we're so jealous. You live so close to Disneyland. You're there all the time. We wish we could move there. And like being out here at Epic Universe, you know, this week has made me like really jealous of people who live close and they're gonna be able to come all the time and that kind of stuff. And so I kind of feel that same sort of, oh, am I missing out feeling? But then I had to stop, sit down, pause and reflect. And this is a sort of little side rant. I apologize for this, but theme parks aren't everything. They're something, and oh boy, are they something, especially this one. I was kind of mentioning like how weird it was filming theme parks and all this stuff 10, 12 years ago. This whole like giant vlogger community, all this stuff didn't really exist. And very early on, I decided I can't just film theme parks. There's so much more to life. There's so much more out there. Theme parks are something I love so much. They will always be part of my life, and they are very important to me. I mean, I was raised and grew up in Anaheim, California, right? Going to Knott's Berry Farm and Disneyland, two of the original theme parks that started the whole thing. I mean, theme parks will always be part of what I do forever. Randomland started in Disneyland, actually. But pretty much right from the beginning, I made a commitment to myself. Like, there's more to life. I want to showcase more things than just theme parks. So we do road trips, historical locations, roadside attractions, all kinds of other stuff. So if you're popping by for just this video, there's a lot of other stuff on this channel. It has been surreal seeing so many people filming this new park, because I have lived long enough now to go from me being a psychopath for filming theme parks to like everyone in the world telling me I want to be a theme park vlogger. It's the weirdest weirdest thing. But the point of me saying all this is like, you know, this place will be around for a while. Don't feel like you're missing out just because you see something on the internet and you're like, oh my gosh, it looks so new and exciting. Oh, their lives are so great and my life is so horrible. I can't get there yet. It'll be here for you, right here waiting for you. Now, when you can come out here, you know, run, don't walk, because it is fantastic. It is awesome. I highly recommend, though, when it's open to the public, get that Universal Express. You're gonna wanna go right to the front of these lines because these rides are amazing and you're gonna wanna do them all. All right, I'm gonna go ask if I can take a peek inside this restaurant because what I can see through the windows looks incredible. Oh my goodness. Some more adult language might have just come out of my mouth when the camera was off there and I was going through the door. This is fantastic. This is just the upstairs bar. Look at this restaurant downstairs. How incredible is that? Look at all these like stained glass looking fish and these crazy bubbles right here. And you can watch those fountain shows just going on and on. It smells so good in here. I haven't eaten a lot of seafood and a lot of seafood restaurants won't have gluten-free stuff. This one does actually. My next trip, I'm gonna give this a try, give the steakhouse a try. Dang, it's such a bummer that I'm defective and can't eat normal people food because this place looks like it has some great restaurants in it. At least they have some gluten-friendly options. That's better than they used to have in most of their Universal parks. It's just what they don't know is that most of us who need a gluten-friendly option, we need it to be gluten-free, not just gluten-friendly. It's a medical thing. I think we got Heimbucked because for a while gluten-free was like a weird health trend for some people, but some of us, it is a medical issue and you know, gotta take it super serious, so. All right, I showed this little shop to you yesterday. This little shop with no name on the outside, but on the tags for this bear character right here. Captain Cacao, I found out it's called Moonship Chocolates and Celestial Sweets. They got so many nifty gifties here, little candies. Oh, and look at this, look at the fudge and the macarons. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of food in here. Oh, and look at this. This really reminds me of Smashing Pumpkins, right? My 90s peeps will know what I'm talking about. My 90s ladies will know. Oh, they've got mint cookies. I miss mint thins or thin mints, whatever they're called, the Girl Scout ones. I love this aesthetic, dude. Oh, Allie would love this aesthetic. Look at the stars everywhere. This is so cute. So cool, man. I love it. I love that. There's the moon ship right there. Or is this the moon ship? This hot air balloon full of stars. Man, there's a lot more stuff than I really took the time to notice yesterday. They also have a lot of sweets and treats from the other lands as well. Like look at these Frankenstein gummy brains, and you got the monster chocolates right here. If you step through this doorway, you go into the other shop that's right at the edge, kind of near the entrance and exit to the park, the Other Worlds merchandise. And I love that they committed to this sort of astropunk, steampunk type of futuristic astral theme. If you're into astrology, you would love this place. Right, Toothless? There's so much great merchandise in this park, and I'm purposefully taking part of my last hour to show you some of this. Look at that right there, the Isle of Berk. Frickin' Hiccup and Toothless action figure. I need. Oh, look at these tins with little mini dragons in them. I was so distracted in the Isle of Berk, I didn't really take a close look at all the merchandise, all kinds of string bags and t-shirts and towels and stuff. I think my favorite, when I was a kid, I had so many stuffed animals. So the plushes are one of my favorites. And now, of course, action figures, because that's another thing that I used to do. I mean, from an early age, 1995, I started collecting action figures when the Power of the Force 2 Star Wars figures came out. And I think Batman Forever around that time. I went immediately from playing with toys to collecting toys. That was another thing that only people that worked at the comic book shop identified with back then, and everyone would drag me for it in high school. I'd come over to my house, see all the Star Wars Episode 1 figures up on the wall. I'm like, what in the world? Try bringing home a girl back in the 90s to your house, like check out my room, and they're like, what the hell? Fandom has completely changed. It's so funny seeing the same people who made fun of me in high school now going, oh my gosh, I'm such a fan of this or that, or going to comic conventions. The world has changed a lot, and for the better. I mean, there's lots of things to be nostalgic about the 90s and stuff like that, but let me tell you, back in the 90s, we were getting beat up a lot. Nobody has time for getting beat up. We've got stuff to watch on Netflix now, stuff to collect. I know we've been a little theme park heavy lately, and we still have at least one more day at Walt Disney World. Plus, I'm getting back home very soon because there's another theme park event I'm gonna be going to. Don't worry, friends, I always try to balance it out with some other stuff from across the nation, around the world when I can, and the Old West in particular. Not to mention my favorite of all favorites, Route 66. 6. But more on that later. All right, it's too early for me to tell what the hot ticket items are gonna be out here at Epic Universe. I don't know what merch in particular I should be pointing the camera at, but I feel like you get a pretty good idea of what kind of stuff is out here and available for you when this place opens up to the wider world. And now I'm gonna run outside because there's some more stuff that I would like to see. I mean, at least I got to see the animatronic Donkey Kong, and at least I got to see Toothless from a short distance away. And I think I'm gonna have to content myself with that because I do just wanna run around and see all these lands quickly at night. I mean, at least the Isle of Berk and the Dark Universe, and especially Celestial Park, because this is when it really comes alive. And it's a shame that during these sort of annual pass hotel guest previews, it's not open later into the evening, because look at this lighting. Look at the way all these like crazy star charts are lighting up on the ground. Look at the freaking Kronos thing there, or whatever it's called, the entrance, the entryway featuring all the different medallions from all the different lands here, all the different worlds in the Epic Universe. And I can see that not everything is working perfectly yet. There's still some bugs to iron out. You could see just how amazing all of these cool star canopies become at night. Like, look at this, look at this. Look at that moon goddess there and these illuminated water gardens. You can tell there's some like cattails there that are gonna light up one day. They're not doing it at the moment. This whole area is actually still fenced off. That's why you keep seeing shots from over the fence. And just with the flowers and everything's fresh and clean, smells so good. And then here in the twilight, seeing all this color and seeing all these dancing waters coming to life over here, it is incredible. So many people that used to be at Walt Disney Imagineering worked on this park. And I'm wondering if this is one of the things that was inspired by dancing waters. I'm sure they could never admit that. I don't know what the rules are between companies of like admitting, oh, we got that idea from this or that. But I like to think it's a little tribute to something very old school that I used to live across the street from. Something from the original Disneyland Hotel. Maybe, maybe. Oh my gosh, look at the Helios from here. It looks amazing. I'll tell you what, this entire place looks way more amazing in the twilight. The Celestial Park was getting my attention because it was interesting and different when I came in yesterday and walked around today during the day. And you go, okay, I think I get it. I think I'm picking up what they're putting down. But then you see it at night and you go, oh no, I didn't get it. Now I get it. It's amazing. Dude, and then there's the fountain shows. You already saw during the daytime how it almost looks like the Bellagio fountain show or something like that. Well, at nighttime, it's like watching World of Color, but over and over again, and you can come and go as you please. No need for a prearranged seating or lining up, especially down there in front of the Helios. I mean, those fountains are freaking huge. We're just looking at the little side fountains now. Look at those amazing colored lights. I've been to stuff at like Descanso Gardens where they do those pop-up like light up shows and stuff. And here they have a permanent one in the park. It's amazing. And more stuff is coming to Epic Universe. For example, they have flying dragons that are coming to the Isle of Berk eventually in drone form. Some kind of drone dragon technology. People have apparently spotted them, you know, being tested on the fringes of the park. So I don't know when and if they'll ever be revealed to us. We were supposed to get drones in Star Wars land too, right? Like X-Wings flying above and stuff. I've never, ever seen those. But hey, it could happen. Okay, let me check how much time I have. I gotta put this freaking popcorn bucket down. Well, we got a little over 30 minutes. Just calculating my odds of seeing everything I wanna see and then having some time at the store there to grab some merch. But if I don't make it back over to look at Dark Universe again one more time, that's okay. I did see it at night yesterday briefly with all my friends over there. I did not, however, get a chance to see the Isle of Berk in the dark, all lit up. Oh my gosh, by the beard of Thor, by the teeth of Toothless. It looks awesome. I know it's not gonna translate well to this little wiener camera I brought with me. Excuse me. I didn't bring my big boy camera with me that looks really good in the dark. I mean, hopefully it's coming across a little bit. It looks amazing. I love seeing stuff like this in different lighting conditions. There's a reason we have the expression seeing something in a whole new light. There's a reason people like Monet and the great artists would paint the same painting over and over again at different times of day or in different seasons, because light can make a world, or a universe in this case, of difference. It's weird, it feels so quiet and empty over here right now. I think that's because most people do make their way over to Dark Universe at night. Oh, look at this freaking windmill behind the little ice dragon guy. I didn't even notice that earlier. So you see so many different things, so many different things. Hey, calm down, you. Calm down. So many different things jump out at you in different lighting, different times of day. My prediction is that the How to Train Your Dragon Land will be most popular in the day, and then Dark Universe will be most popular at night. So probably, I think one day the pro tip will be like, oh, you gotta go to Dark Universe in the morning when no one's over there, and come How to Train Your Dragon at night when it's more empty. By the way, I wasn't kidding about the Untrainable Dragon show. Do not miss it. Do not, I don't even go to, dude, I don't do the show thing at theme parks normally. Don't miss that one. Chris Provost, what are you doing down there? You're getting wet. What are you doing? Put out the fires. Well, I wasn't expecting to run into that Viking over here today. Anyway, I completely forgot what I was talking about. I'm distracted by the amazing toothless meet and greet. See, this camera is not so good in low light. With my maximum zooming capabilities, you see it gets a little bit grainy and stuff. You get the idea. It's amazing, it's incredible. All right, well, the toothless line wasn't very long and it wasn't technically capped off yet, but I could tell the park was gonna close if I stood there and waited for him. I actually got in line for a second. I was munching on my popcorn and then it dawned on me, you and Toothless have a date with Destiny. Toothless is going to be here on the Isle of Berk forever and ever and ever. There's no hurry. The thing is, this place, Epic Universe, is so magical, it feels like a dream. It feels like I'm gonna go to sleep tonight, wake up tomorrow, and none of it was real. That is how cool and how much I like this park. In fact, when I woke up this morning, I was like, was that real? Did this happen? I mean, I never thought there'd be a place where you could walk around and meet Gobber the Belch.
He was 6 years old, and I've had enough of his inventions blow up in my face to know I wouldn't touch that thing a 10-mile pool. You see these big hairy caterpillars above my eyes? One of his inventions took them clean off one time.
Oh, no.
I went 3 months without my eyebrows.
Oh no.
The other Viking said they couldn't tell if I was angry about it.
Or surprised. Hey.
I like the hammer on the hand. You didn't have that yesterday. Oh, and now you don't have it now. When a what takes off your hand?
A monstrous nightmare.
A monstrous nightmare.
Yes,
Oh.
it used to be the terror of Berk.
Oh.
Yes.
The monstrous nightmares.
Yes, a very large dragon breed, weighs about 3 tons.
And what's your dragon's breed over here sleeping? I forget.
Grump there is what's known as a hot purple. One of the strongest breeds of dragon known to Viking-kind.
Oh.
The only breed strong enough to bite through dragon-proof metal.
Oh, he's waking up over there.
You hear us talking about you, do ya? Yes, unfortunately, to offset all that power, they sleep for 18 hours a day.
Oh.
We should all be so lucky.
Well, soon your shift will be over. You'll be able to sleep well in about 20, 30 minutes.
That's why I actually came here. I was just going to do a wee bit of cleanup before I headed home for the
Well,
evening.
I'm glad I ran into you before you left.
But I'm always happy to see some of my fellow Vikings.
Oh, thank you, Gobber.
Look
It
at
was
that
lovely to
handsome
meet
Viking
you.
in there.
Yeah, look at that portrait of us right
Yes.
there. You like that?
Yes.
There's a handsome one and an ugly one. I don't know which is which.
Well,
I think I might be the ugly one. I was gonna say. But nice to meet you, Gobber. Nice to see you again. What a freaking unreal place, dude. Oh my gosh, look at the mead hall. Ooh, I was getting sprayed by the fountain there. Felt good. All right, for whatever reason, I've tended to never really spend too much time in the YouTube comments, but I'd like you to do me a favor, and you can leave a comment here, or go over to my Instagram, @JustinScarred. I'll post some pictures from Epic Universe. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you'd like to see more of the next time I come back, or what excites you the most, what merch you think is the best. I'm all ears. I'm very curious as to what your impressions are of this place so far. Is it a must-do, something you're gonna wait? Dude, did you see the freaking water light up? I didn't know it did that. What the heck, what was I saying? Is it a must-do? Is it something you're gonna wait on, sleep on for a little while? When you do get here, what are you the most excited about? What do you wanna do first? I'm very curious. I like Universal Orlando. I like Islands of Adventure. But notice I said like, not love. I mean, like, there's parts of it I love. I love that freaking E.T. ride. I love that Jurassic Park area. You know, the immersive areas I really enjoy. But I'll tell you what, I pretty much love everything about Epic Universe. I don't even know what I would criticize, especially considering that they're just opening this and still working out the kinks. I really have nothing negative to say. And although I don't tend to focus on the negative ever on this channel, if indeed I had a legitimate criticism or something I thought was a legitimate criticism, I would tell you. Look at those beams of light up into the sky. We gotta pass back through this portal here and head back to Celestial Park. There's a couple other things I just wanted to lay my eyes on in the nighttime here before it's too late and I gotta grab an armful of merch to take home with me for some other people. But once again, we're headed toward the Helios. See, look at that. They're playing some How to Train Your Dragon music. They've got colored lights and jets of water shooting up in the air. And that's not the main fountain. Hopefully the big one will be going off when we go around that direction. But look at this. Even the freaking Stardust Racers light up at night. I'm telling you, I already kind of liked Celestial Park. I'm like, okay, I was more interested in the sidelands till I saw it at night like this. I'm like, oh my gosh. Dude, it completely changes the map when you come out here in the dark. Look at that. That is freaking insane. And I love that there's so much seating area out here. And again, it's just come and go as you please. It does this multiple times a night with multiple different songs, multiple different themes. It's incredible. It's making me feel all the feels. I mean, no matter which way you turn your head, just giant jets of water. And then look at this, they just stopped even when they're off, which is not really off. They're just restarting for a new song. The whole place looks incredible. By the way, I did not know this, but apparently in the Dark Universe, speaking of soundtracks here, Danny Elfman did the soundtrack. See what I mean about sparing no expense? And apparently they even put the soundtrack on vinyl, but it's already sold out. I really seriously think they're gonna sell so much merch. I think this park is gonna make a ton of money because they put creativity first. They put the ideas first. I don't see a lot of compromises in the theming, and especially Celestial Park at night. It's just fantastic. There's lights everywhere, sounds and soundtracks from the different lands. I gotta take a peek at this carousel at night. Oh, even here under the canopy, seeing the fountains shooting up, seeing all the signs lit up, like for the Astro Pub back there. I'm blown away, dude. The only other place I've ever seen like this, not to compare parks, is Disneyland Paris and Discoveryland out there. This is like the next evolution of a Discoveryland, or what Discoveryland could have looked like if they kept like expanding it or had room to. But otherwise, I've never seen anything like this in my life. It's like Discoveryland, the next generation. I just love this. I mean, look at this. Have you ever seen anything like this in your entire life anywhere? The size, the scale, the whole spare, no expense of it. It is beautiful. This isn't even my chosen aesthetic, you know? It's like something out of an Art Nouveau, Jules Verne vision of the future. And with the epic music from all the lands and all the overstimulation from everything else, this is incredible. I just wish it was open for another hour or two at night. I can't get enough of this. I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. I never want to leave. I want to live in this park. Oh my gosh, it keeps changing colors. There's only like 5 minutes left though of the park being open. I want to just sit and watch this forever. But unfortunately, it's time for us to make our end run. Dude, I wanted to stay there and just stare at that all night. That was like something out of a dream. Now I'm literally theme park running towards, because no running allowed, you know? Power walking my way back to the Dark Universe. In fact, I think I'm gonna even take the little side gate over here into Darkmoor. People in the shops up by the front gate told me the shop will stay open for at least 30, 45 minutes after the park closes, which it's doing in about 10 minutes. Side note, what is that little hut right there? There's a little guard hut here on the Celestial Park side of Darkmoor. Anyway, into Darkmoor. So I mean, even though they're not gonna bum rush you out of the land the second it closes, there's only a few minutes left to go out here in the Dark Universe, and I don't wanna take any chances. Look at that, dude. Look at the frickin' Darkmoor Manor back there. Every time that Victoria Frankenstein does one of her experiments, it sucks all the power from the land, all the lights flicker and everything changes in here. Oh dude, the soundtrack is so good and it looks so incredible at night. It's still hard for me to wrap my head around this, dude. All I wanna do is come back here and stay here all night. Just wander around in this. Look at that. The experiments are happening right now and all around the village. You see the lights flickering on and off. The power is being drained out of Darkmoor. That is so freaking awesome. And you know what else is awesome? Igor screaming because he sees the bride and the monster.
It is all right. Igor gives me to my friend who plays tricks. You are safe.
Igor really freaked him out. Look at friend.
Friend.
Yes, friend.
Are you a friend?
I am a friend. I am no friend of Victoria Frankenstein's, I'll tell you that much.
That is good. You are wise.
Does she know you're down here over here?
Do not tell Victoria.
I won't tell her anything. Don't worry about me.
He deserves to know that the world is good. He is here to learn.
Oh, he's here to learn that the world is good.
Learn.
Learn.
Darkmoor. Good.
Darkmoor good. Victoria bad.
Victoria is strange. She seeks to control.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Goodbye, friend.
There is a step.
Okay, don't worry, I won't step on it.
You are clumsy.
I am clumsy, you're right. That was so cool, dude. That was so awesome. They'd already capped the line again, but I got to see the monster up close and personal and make friend. All right, it's getting windy out here and my anti-wind mic has died, so I apologize for any wind noise. But this is it. Once again, we have reached 9 p.m. at Epic Universe in Darkmoor. Second day in a row. Monsters Unchained over here is now closed. I did not get to get on this ride today. I think I used up all my karma yesterday by riding it, like I said, 6 times. This is my new favorite ride ever, and I cannot wait to come back just for this alone. I cannot praise this place highly enough. Like I said, I don't think I have anything negative to say. The only thing I can say about this whole experience is that it's been epic. All right, gang. Well, that about does it. It's dark and there's no more to show you. I'm still here for one more day staying out at Walt Disney World, and then I've got to wing my way back to the West Coast and go home and sleep well, which you can do too after you've done your duty, which is to go down in the description. Check out those links down below. This particular channel would not exist if it wasn't for our Patreons. Shout out to them. I really hope that some of you will join us over there on Patreon one of these days as well when you can. Just for watching this, I have to say thank you. It's been my honor and pleasure to be doing this for you guys for 11 or 12 years now. Oh my gosh, I just realized it is 12 years now. Boy, does time fly. Soon we'll all be here, resting in the crypts of Darkmoor. Soon it will be our turn. But not today, folks. Not today. And if you'll come back on these adventures with me in the next video, I'll be back as well. All right, this is it, our final portal, because this is the portal to go home and sleep well. See you next time. You made it all the way to the very end. You're part of the all the way to the very end club, which means I love you. And if I love you, then I need to give you this PSA. Please, nobody ever go inside of this fountain. I was just standing here thinking how nice this is and how beautiful and how you can get eye level with the water right here. And I thought, oh no, how long until some nincompoop forces them to put a fence around this down here because they want to get in the water with the jets that could take your leg off. Please don't do it. Nobody do it, okay? Let's have nice things. Let's deserve nice things. All right, guys. I love you all. Until next time, goodbye. I mean, look at this. Even next to this little Viking hut gift stall.
More.
Well, it's about darn time you showed up. These days. When I was your age, I had a little something called respect for my elders. Listen, we've got trouble. Big trouble. More trouble than you can shake a stick at.